Hey chat, how are we doing today? Just give me a moment. I was looking at something prior to the stream because, given what I've been currently working on, I've been looking at other characters that have the same rough body type, and I remembered that the Contessa from Sly 2 is a thing. It, the game that I have probably arguably played the most out of any game in general, probably even more so than say the Binding of Isaac's gonna go like 1,000 plus hours in, but probably slightly less than Minecraft if I had to take a guess, but that's beside the point. So, when you think of a spider, right, chat? Let me just pull up a fresh anatomy image on the website. So, when you're looking at a spider, right, chat? It's quite clear that the legs are actually on the bottom part of the thorax. So this sort of thing. So all the legs are connecting into here. But if you look at the Contessa from Sly 2, her legs go all the way down the abdomen as well. It goes two here and then two here. And I can't for the life of me imagine what the consequences of that would be. Because, you have... Okay, so that's fan art. And you see the legs are in the correct place. But you look at official artwork, and they're going all down the side. If I look here, yeah, the legs are back here too. And that's just wild to me, because you look at the average spider, and it's just not like that. I thought of it right before stream started. I thought, oh, okay, I'll just quickly check that before I start. Because I thought, oh yeah, it might be another good reference. Turns out it's a very poor reference, potentially. Now, time to work on the legs. I need to pull up... Would pulling up the Wolf Echo Shur again... Because I used a Wolf Echo Shur for a part of one of my assignments a couple weeks back. I'm just wondering if I might need it again. I have a lot of angles for the reference Echo Shurs I'm using for legs, so I think I'll just not do that for the second. I'll just work on this for the time being. So I'm going to hide these two for now, just so I have some space to work with. And why? Right, now. I imagine the way this would work is that the muscles would come from the underside of the abdomen, in which case I need to unhide that for now. So it needs to sort of work into the abdomen slightly before going out towards the joint. At least I'm pretty sure that's how that would work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this directly in the middle. And it seems like a weird choice, but I think this can work. Oh, did not mean to spin it in on itself. I might actually just use the regular grab for this. And then grab those out. Hook that around like that. And realistically, the muscle would probably split around here. So I'll grab this and have it form slightly over the kneecap, quote unquote, but not quite, just maybe around about here. So it's like a muscle that goes into there, but doesn't cover the entire thing. And it'll probably seem like an odd choice at first, but I swear this will make more sense later. So then, yeah, the muscle goes into there. Smooth this one out a bit. That should be fine. Because there's not a lot of muscle that goes into this particular segment. However, I do think that some work is required in order to make it look semi-normal at least. The fact that I have to make a custom muscle system for just this specific project, like, if depending on how you want to look at this is technically the first model that I'm creating by myself if you don't count the Missingno model from the other week. So this is a wild first time around, like a newbie project. This is a bit questionable in terms of how much sanity I'm going to keep while doing this. But if like, most of you know me well enough to know that sanity and I just don't mix. So grab that down the other side. Like this a bit. I'm going to remesh this. Because what I need to do is I also need to pull a bit of that back to have the muscle from here hook down into this area. If I'm not mistaken, that's how that should work. And then that can be implied as a third muscle that goes into this section. And this bit out a bit. Yeah, that'll work. And then once that's all smoothed over, I can just join that into kneecap proper. I do need to just briefly grab this thing. Okay, it looks like I might need to hide this for a second. And tap back to sculpt mode. Object mode, unhide that. And go back to sculpt mode. And we should be able to just make that muscle go into the section of the leg here. Probably need to work on this just a smidge more. I'm not looking forward to doing the face, to be quite honest with you, chat, because I'm not sure how I'm going to go about doing it. Alright, so now we do this part of the leg. Now this is what I'd consider to be the upper thigh for this. For the sake of muscle groups, this is what I'd consider to be that. Now, if I look at that, it's like several different muscles that go down into there. So this could be a bit of a challenge. Let's go with one that goes up into this kneecap here first. Also, I see that 4J Studios is planning to release basically a pre-alpha of their new game. I think, well, I say game. I'm not sure what exactly you'd qualify that as. It's like sandbox something or other. I'd say it more as like a game development type of tool than anything else. But regardless, Reforge is supposed to come out, I believe, on the Xbox Series S and X. I just saw the video for it this morning. And I thought, that'd be great if I actually had an Xbox. I haven't owned one since the 360 days. In fact, I'm not even entirely certain mine still works. I know I've red ringed that thing to hell and back. But to be fair, it does continue working regardless for some unknown reason. If I'm looking at that, it's... yeah, I'd need to like have this go into that specific muscle there. So I'm going to take the opportunity to hide this for a moment. Just pull that down into joint. But yeah, apparently Reforged is supposed to come out soon. It actually does look quite interesting. Like, it's one thing for somebody to say, oh, it's just a Minecraft clone, but it actually has built-in building. And I know it sounds weird, but like, it actually has different shapes you can use for each block. So you can... what's the mod in Minecraft called? The one that allows you to craft blocks into different shapes. I believe it's called Chisel or something along those lines. But yeah, Reforged basically has built-in chisel and creative mode. I don't know if that's a thing in their survival mode, but it'd be quite interesting to see if it was. Okay, got that. I just need to bulk up this side. There's usually another muscle that... actually, this is the back muscle, isn't it? Let's see. Does the human echo share provide me anything here? Yes, actually. It's the fact that there's supposed to be two muscles here. They actually wrap around the side and not doing whatever the hell it was I was doing here. So what I can do, a rather cheeky move, is I can actually mirror this a second time. And have this mirror affected by this object along with the y-axis instead of the x. And then I can just do both of these at the same time. Because they're more or less the same shape. So I'm not too concerned about that. Right. Got that going. Just need to grab this entire muscle here and actually bring it around. Actually, it's supposed to go a bit further down. I'll probably just blob this first, just to make sure it has enough geometry to make the trip. Probably even use elastic deform for this. And then, yeah, that muscle probably goes up into here. Just bulk this out a smidge. And then bulk this one up slightly more. There we go. Bulk this up, smooth this down. Just really just redirect this into the side of the kneecap. Mesh there, and we should be just about good. Yeah. I think so. And then I can just build individual muscles for each of like these sections here. So this one's actually probably the one that needs to show upwards just a smidge. Grab that. And then we grab from here and pull it down until it conforms to the indent on the joint. Go, it should be good. Grab this, pull it down, get in the position. There we go. I must say, this is a little bit more difficult than I expected, but I can work with this. I've got like 3 hours to get some work done in, so I don't really have too much to complain about. Now, the outside of the leg is... so like this outer section, basically on the outside of your legs. And that has basically one muscle that goes through the entire section here. Is that the case on the inner leg? I think so, but it's a different shape at the same time, so I'm probably going to have to do these separately. Lay down, across, and then we just work from there. Make sure I pull that down. And then, yeah, that wraps around the side of the knee. Let's grab this, bulk that all up. What have I done? Why is that going off in random directions? I do not know. I stopped asking questions about this software roughly around the time that I started trying to learn how to do lighting. Okay. Up. Going to pull this one down on here too. Cool. I just need to keep in mind that it's going to be roughly the same on the other side too. So if I want to do different muscles, I'd have to do it with whatever I end up putting in there. Whether it be a mirror or a completely new muscle. And then the front of the leg technically has 3 muscles. I'm not sure that's entirely necessary. We shall see. Do I want to duplicate this? Possibly. In fact, I think I might. I might just mirror this. Control L and clockwise. Hello? Control L, top of my fire, please. Thank you. Actually, that might not work out now that I think about it. Let's just grab this. Cool. That, and time to sculpt this into the shape that I need. I might make this one muscle that wraps from around here to here and have it split up into 3 different sections. I know that's going to sound strange. I promise it'll make more sense in a second once I get it to be where I want it. Okay, got that. That all the way down. Right, almost there. Okay, that's not where I want to be. Right, cool. Got that all the way across now. That's done there. I can use the snake hook. Just remesh that quickly. And wrap this around. Make sure that stays around here too. If I grab this edge, pull that up, grab this edge and pull it up. I have to actually push against the body now. Grab the muscle here. Remesh that so I don't have stuff going all haywire. So put that in. Now, if I look at this from the bottom, there should be a way for me to use the grease tool to cut out the definition of a third muscle there. And then this slot I can just split down here. Just need to smooth off the side so it conforms better to wrapping around the leg. Almost got it. I just probably need to bulk out and thin the various parts of this muscle until it becomes relatively even. Don't want it to be too lumpy now, right, chat? Although to be fair, I can just use the smooth mesh filter once I get around to doing any actual detail. I'm going to use Draw Sharp here and just really crease that in. Alright. Hey, you know what's ridiculous? It is just absolutely howling with gusts outside. And it's just knocking everything around. I was outside earlier, like, grabbing in the groceries, and I thought for a brief moment there that a tornado was actually going to start, and I was just like, oh god, please no. Because I could just imagine that being absolutely destructive with this weather we're having at the moment. Unfortunately, my city is relatively close to places that are in the path of Cyclone Tam. So this is just something I have to deal with now. Hopefully none of the stuff off the deck blows away. I know there's like an umbrella there, but I think that's been tied up and laid flat so it doesn't, you know, decide to do a Mary Poppins. Let's just distort this. So it does that now. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this section here, but I'm sure I'll figure something out. I think the idea I'm going to have for this one is to just not have an exoskeleton at all. Because it would be interesting to see a spider-like form without the traditional spider-like features beyond, you know, your 8 legs and whatever. I think it'd be rather interesting to have something that seems like an arachnid, but just doesn't have the rest of the arachnid qualities. I've also been thinking, and I haven't quite decided on this yet, but I was thinking about the game LSD Dream Emulator, right? And I know there is some... There's like, some of the maps have been uploaded, like have been dumped and uploaded to the internet. I'm just thinking about whether I should do the whole putting my Minecraft character where they don't belong, except this time it's just a very corrupted looking city with a floating fish overhead. Like, I'm just going to quickly pull this up for the sake of chat. Where is it? It's just like this thing. Like, that's gonna be the jankiest fish ever, and it is so amusing to me. Like, look at this thing. This thing has absolutely nothing going on between the eyes. And honestly, I love it for that. Like, I wish that were me. Okay, I'm just going to do the same as before. Actually, is that fine here? Because this would be what would be considered the quote-unquote knee. So yeah, it's like 2 separate muscles and then the same at the back. So yeah, I think this is fine. This across, just... Oh, right, because I'm doing this from the back, not the front. You know, it's weird to me that there's a lot of songs on this playlist I haven't heard yet. Like, I know logically this playlist lasts for like 12 hours or something along those lines. Actually, does it last for 12 hours or is it 23? I do forget. Yeah, it lasts for 11 hours and 10 minutes. And there's just songs on here that I haven't heard yet. To pull those across a bit more. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to indent the muscles around where that specific part of the leg is here. So if I do this, I can mark out where the indent is. And then everything from this section onwards can be thinned down a bit. And yeah, that shows the actual top section there as a muscle as opposed to just being coalesced into the entire section here. Okay. Mesh. And then that. So I think this is the point where I actually stop using the mirror. So if I apply the mirror here. So I want to quickly go into edit mode. And so that's linked together. I don't really want that to link together though. So if I unapply the mirror, and reapply it. That one, like that. And then if I smooth this out so it doesn't connect on itself. And then I apply that. Ah, okay. Where are you connecting at, you annoyance? Because I know for a fact there's just going to be somewhere that it's connecting where I don't want it to. My X now. I was going to sculpt mode for these specifically. And I really zoom in, I can see where this is the side it wants to join together. Separate. I don't want you to join together, please. And then make sure I do the bottom section too. So that is definitely and very clearly separated from each other. So now if I go into edit mode, yeah, I can just... Actually, I need to apply that first. Now if I go into edit mode, now I can separate those. And now I can do what I've been meaning to. Okay, and sculpt mode. There we go. So it's actually this one sort of just stops existing halfway around the leg. So it actually does not belong in this section. It actually more so belongs down the side here. Let's just grab all of this and just pull it out. And pull this down. Now if I smooth this out and pull it this way, it should be good. And then this one actually comes across into that joint there. I'm hesitant to call it a kneecap because, like, in the case of the spiders, like, I don't think they have kneecaps, hence why I'm hesitant about them. About it. Anyway. Actually, I'll just increase the size of this muscle here. Apologize. Apologize, remesh. This is not the time for retopology. And then grab this. And then that goes into the side of the joint there. Switch more and pull that across. Nice. And now I need to do the two, what are more or less matching muscles back here. And that's a pretty reasonable amount of ground to cover, but I'm sure I can handle it. Right, grab this. Take a quick sip of water, otherwise my throat will be screaming at me. Depending on how fast I go through this and how long I go for, I might need to leave and grab some more water. So I started this with about 3/4 of a bottle, I'm now at like 1/3. It's not a small bottle either, it's like a 2-litre bottle. Okay, just ladle this bit. Like scale. Right, cool. Time to grab this and pull that all the way up here. Pull that back into here, because that's where it joins into the upper leg. And then I just want to grab this and pull it all the way back to the leg where it should be. Just get that out and pull it back. You know, it's going to be really interesting because, like how I was talking about Reforge earlier, and if there's one thing 4J Studios was known for, especially back in the day, was their involvement with the Legacy Edition of the console version of Minecraft. So, think your PS3, Xbox 360. And while personally, I didn't start from there. It was one of the ones that I spent more time on, so I can appreciate their work. But they were the ones who put the Herobrine skin into the Legacy console editions, and that's why, basically everyone and their mother saw Herobrine in the Xbox 360 edition was because people were just using that skin to troll others. And I'm just thinking, I wonder if Reforge is going to have a Herobrine-like character at some point. Like, either fan-created or made by the devs. Like, I think that would be rather interesting to see that happen a second time round. Like, Herobrine is stupidly popular. Especially, like, in this day and age. Like, not so much back in, like, when Minecraft wasn't at its peak, but now that Minecraft's been revived, it's like everyone rediscovered the Herobrine myth again. And that just makes me think it could possibly happen with Reforge as well. I mean, it seems slightly unlikely, but not impossible. Like, if that were the case, I wonder what it'd even be called. Because anyone who's been following the whole Herobrine shebang for the past couple of years knows about the whole White Eyes situation. But we never really got closure, like, from whoever made the original White Eyes story. And we never got any information about who was responsible for the creation of Herobrine himself. I wonder if you'd even be able to get away with doing that in this day and age, because I feel like people would be able to hunt you down just considerably easier. Like, times have changed. You might not want to be the person who creates Herobrine and Reforge or wherever else becomes another Minecraft clone. And yeah, all of that actually... So that coalesces into the back of the foot. So I'm going to have this section here be the foot, more or less. Let's grab this. And then form it into the back here. And I'm just going to increase the sizing on that. Cool. And yeah, that works. So now we just grab this other one, we form that into the shape of the other. I guess this is technically the calf muscle, right? Alright, grab that. Pull all the way down and then form it here. The next couple of streams for creating this particular character are going to be interesting. Because I need to figure out how to do hair. I've never done any type of hair in Blender before. Like, outside of maybe playing with some physics simulations, but certainly not a whole heck of a lot of them. And I just know that physics is just not going to work for this particular character. Like, hair physics specifically. I want to maybe try and learn how to do hair cards, but I have to spend a fair bit of time creating them, probably off stream. Like, I have guides on how to do it already in my recently watched on YouTube. I just need to actually do the entire system, I think. At the very least, I want to build the system by hand, so I can see how the geometry nodes for that setup work. Because I'm not familiar with geometry nodes, and to be quite honest with you, chat, I'd probably rather not be, but I need to learn them at some point. Alright, and grab all this, just form it down until it feels about right. And grab this, pull all the way across. Alright, I also need to make the indent here in order to keep consistency with the rest of the joint there. So just do that, smooth this out. And then just grab brush again. Like, the entire point is just to try and flatten out the muscle a little bit, but not shrink it, so to speak. This. I should be just about ready to go. Make sure I bulk these out. Alright, that should be good. I'll just use this as... just grab this across. Just make sure I fill up the space that's going overboard. Right, should be good. And then grab this and pull it up. Need to probably inflate that even. There we go. There we go, we have the muscle surrounding the knee. Although I do need to grab this and pull it along. Just grab the classic keyform and push it there. Grab that, and there we go. We should be good. Muscles are quite strenuous work for doing models. But I know it's going to be worth it at the end, so I'm not going to complain. And then I have to figure out how I'm going to do the muscles that connect the rest of the torso to the abdomen, then the legs into the abdomen as well. I need to figure out if I want to do muscles for the... Sorry, the legs and the body into the thorax. And then the abdomen, I need to decide whether I'm going to put any significant amount of muscle in there. Now, there isn't actually any good foot muscle references. Mind you, the feet, generally speaking, don't have muscles. So I'm not going to have muscles on this section here, but I am going to for this bit here. I wonder what Zero's doing right now. He's faffing about with something related to, I believe that's Kingdom Hearts. Along with my access for now. I wonder if he's having troubles with mods again. I know his computer can't really handle them all too well. And, like, to be fair, some of the mods can be quite intensive. And that, I might actually split it at the top. Just grab this and that. Does look a bit wonky, but I can just grab these and pull them out. And then I can inflate them and remesh, and it should be fine. There we go. Probably will do the opposite, just like, yeah. Cool. And now I probably want to crease that middle muscle there. Because now I'm just going based off of vibes aligned when it comes to this model. Or at least for the final part of the leg muscles. And now I'm going to turn this off. And snake hook this. Until it gives me the bulk I require. Probably halfway around the leg here. Makes the most sense. I'll probably have to ask him after stream what the hell it is he's doing. Because I can't... Like, I don't know Kingdom Hearts all that well, but I do know it well enough to know that he should not be crashing that much. Like, this man is struggling for his life right now. And probably smooth that out. Like, is that showing up on my stream? I don't think it is. Is it? Like, maybe I'm just out of my mind and the Steam pop-ups don't show up on screen. But I think that's like the 4th or 5th time he's shown up today so far. Let's get slightly more bulk on this side and put the other side as a bit thinner. I'm going to pull this across to one side. No, apparently it doesn't show up on screen. But, he's definitely having some troubles with Kingdom Hearts. At least some. Alright, and... Alright, that should be fine. Let's duplicate this again. I almost want to send him a message asking him if he's alright because, it does look like he's having problems. In fact, I'll just do that now while I'm here. Alright, there we go. Now, Do I split this into two as well? Probably. In fact, I might even just scale this down and D across. I just do them as two separate things here. This. Pull all the way across. Remesh it to make sure that I don't run out of geometry to pull across. Bulk that out. Alright, cool. Now I can pull that there. And then that can just be one that joins into the side there. Oh, don't mean to do that. Remesh it. Pull that out. Alright, that should be fine, maybe. Yeah. And then sculpt this one. It's going to possibly look a little bit strange, but we'll see. I entirely forgot that that alarm was still set, and that, ironically, was not an alarm for my eye drops. I was just an idiot yesterday and almost forgot my medication, hence why I had that alarm to begin with. Although, to be fair, I already had that conversation yesterday, so I don't really feel the need to repeat it. And I did not mean to do that. He is still going at it. Like, whatever he's doing, he's having a hell of a time doing it. Alright, bulk it out. Cool. I'll just have to remember to turn that off once I finish stream. And then like that, and then I can just have that possibly be a teetery muscle. I can even just grab this one, pull it across a bit. Just really get it close. There we go. Pull this one back across because I want to give the implication of having a muscle in there. Grab this, pull it all the way up. So go right there, and then snake for a few, please. Alright, got that going. And then grab this across. I went back to, like, because this is technically a break from animation. I went back to have a look at a video from the next animation course I'm going to be doing. And oh my lord, there is so many assignments coming up. I am scared for my life. Like, I saw on one module there was like 6 different assignments back to back. And like, admittedly I did do like several assignments, but at least there was a couple videos in between. It's just 6 assignments back to back. I'm just like, oh no, what have I gotten myself into? I'm gonna stretch this out a bit more, I think. Right, we should be good for this now. Okay, that is quite a fair bit of muscle work on these legs. I'm actually going to add one more into the between section there. And I want to make this a bit smaller. And sculpt this. Grab it. Yeah, all the way up and back in. Sculpt this out. I want to make extra sure that the muscles don't come through on this. Go. Smaller and we're good. Alright, got muscle there. I think that's everything that I needed. Yeah, now I just need to figure out what I'm going to do for the feet. Because, like, obviously I want to do, like, the claws. So I just need to, when I get around to it, I just need to make a couple hooks. In fact, I can probably do that now while I'm here. I shouldn't require too much. I just need to get a cylinder. Probably like 8. Because nobody's really going to notice the scale of it once it's turned into claws. Probably even a bit smaller than that on the non-Z. And now it is time to edit. I want to probably grid fill this one. So next faces and face grid fill. Where is it? Go. And same on the side as well. Cool. I'm going to give this a subdiv of 2. And get on the Z-axis. Just really sharpen this up. And make these before I scale it. Probably proportional editing. Just need to make sure that I don't get everything here. Right, a couple of blue cuts in here. What have I done? Go. And now from the end here, we're actually not even from there, huh? Probably actually, if I do this, will be a lot quicker. Alright, now if I scale this in the non-Z, there we go. It should be. Oh, good lord, what have I done? Chat, I think I might have slightly messed this up. Hang on, let me just figure out what I've done here. How did this happen? Like, I scaled it in the non-Z. Oh, except it's going from active element and not medium point. Of course. Just slide that back up. And now, if we try this again, it should hopefully do what I want it to. No, but and rotate that. That should be sufficient for what I want. Okay, I need to move this independent of everything else, I mean. Right, that should be good. If I use the mirror modifier on this, on the y-axis, there we go. We've got two little claws for the spider. I have no idea how I'm going to cover them up, considering the fact that there's usually fur surrounding these, but I'm sure I'll figure out a way. Now, if I do another mirror and base it on the torso. Actually, is that correct? What am I using for this? Torso spider. So if I grab these, and oh good lord, that looks like an abomination. That's fine, I've got it. There we go. We now have paws for the little spider legs. Alrighty. Okay, just save that. Now I think probably the next best thing to do is to do some muscles for the human body going into the spider body. Just like the abdomen to the torso. Or thorax in this case. So, if I quickly go into sculpt mode, I'm going to probably grab these and just pull them out. Might even just elastic pull them. So I do want the muscles to actually be going into the torso here. Out. There we go. Now I just need to create extra muscles that go from here and into the body. Which shouldn't be too difficult. All I'd have to do is just do some muscles connect from here down to here. Right. X. Y. And sculpt. Kind of looks like little Isaac. You're like, look, he's so friendly. Now that I've accidentally given him eyes, that's fine. I can fix this. Just But for real though, just need to look at the so centaur. There's like a, for want of a better term, a collarbone structure surrounding the upper abdomen that goes into the horse body, but I'm not sure that's entirely the way I want to go about doing it. In fact, I think I might have the muscles coming up from here instead. Just grab them, put them up here, and then bring them down the side of the body. There. Pull back in. Alright, let's see. So yeah, that will go from the sides of the abs into the spider body. And then that will probably wrap around toward the legs, but not quite there. If I grab this, yeah, it should be good. And then I can probably crease this. There we go. It should be fine. And of course, because it's going to be going across here too, I might as well make a secondary section that goes down the front of the abdomen too. Okay. Finish all that. I'm going to probably grab this and move it across. Don't want to make them too big after all. And then smooth that in. In fact, I probably want to indent this here. Just really crease it in. And then smooth this out. Because I think if spiders were to have muscles, they would be a lot flatter than average humans. So I do need to keep that in mind when constructing the muscle groups around here. So if I round this out, I can actually probably fit a few small groups. Probably coming from here and then coming down. So grab the X, Y. Actually, I probably want to scale this a bit. Grab that out a bit, duplicate it across, and then sculpt both of this. Grab that. This down. And then pull it across so it comes underneath the abdomen. I do need to keep the legs in mind though, because there will be points where the legs are intersecting with these muscles, and I do need to work with that. Okay, just use the grab here, pull this out. And grab it across here. Grab this one. And do something roughly similar, but leave a small gap in between these two here. That, pull it down. Pull that across. back, just separate this particular section here. And then put that down to there for the second. Oh, interesting. Something wonky's going on here. Is this not centered properly? No, it is centered. But that's not. Somehow, some way, this is entirely off. I don't know how this happened. Is this... It's in the correct position in the X. This is technically in the correct position in the X as well. But somehow, that is more indented on this side than it is the other side. How did this happen? Is it because it's... Oh, it's because it's around torso human. It should be around torso spider. And even then, it still weirdly doesn't fit correctly? How did this happen? Like, if I scale this down, it probably fits a bit better. But in saying that, it just looks strange. How? How did this happen? If I set origin to geometry. Yeah, it pushes it out slightly, but not very much. What a weird situation. Oh, that's in the correct position. Like, it's only that bottom section too. From the looks of it, the top section's just fine. It's not the rotation, it's not the scale. That's fine, I can just fix it up when I go to sculpt this entire bottom section. But it's still really strange. Now, I just need to do the legs as well, but for now I'm just going to focus on the muscles of the body. Okay. Is it just me or is this in the wrong position? No, oh wait, it is slightly. How strange. But regardless, I'm just gonna set it to the spider torso instead. Alright, sculpting time. So yeah, there's like a major muscle that goes from here and hooks around the entire body. Well, at least in terms of the centaur, which I'm probably gonna follow for the most part. Okay. Cool. So I'll just grab this, pull it up a bit more. So I do want to give this a fair amount of muscle mass. Right. Grab this and pull it down. Let's make sure there's a good amount here. Now I'm actually going to hook this up slightly onto the back of the abdomen. Right. The retopology on this is going to be an absolute bastard, I can already tell. No, that's fine. I'll get through it eventually. Oh, let's move that out a bit. And just get that. Just make sure it really comes across. Because the abdomen is still two separate parts, in spite of all muscle that I add onto this. Would the spider body here have a spine split from the muscles? Most likely, I imagine. Also, I'm just gonna smooth that out. There we go. I'm actually gonna quickly do this, right? So I'm going to actually it's right this one. So convert to mesh, which would cause all of these to become like all their modifiers to go off at the same time. And then control, actually I'm going to quickly do this without the modifiers first. So Control S, and then we convert to mesh and join them all together like the silly fool that I am. Control A, apply scale, sculpt mode. I'm gonna set this to probably 0.3 if efficient for the torso. X and smooth it out. Just so I have a better idea of what I'm doing to these muscles. I'm also going to connect the head here while I'm at it. J, sculpt mode, mesh that. There we go, it's sort of coming together. Might just pull the tips in a bit. There we go. Actually, yeah, no, that is correct. Probably the third down. Yeah, that's a lot better. And then this out. Now. What should I do next? Probably what I want to do is combine all these together and then rotate them around the body a bit. Which means I have to connect all these individual pieces together. So, this is going to be interesting. Okay, got that one. One behind it, please. Okay, that's the ball joint. That one there. Nope, not that one either. Why are you like this? Okay, there we go. And then that one there. And then we right click, convert to mesh, and then I probably want to join based around this one specifically. And then we go into that, go into sculpt mode, 0.3 meters, or 0.03 meters. Okay, remesh that, just smooth that down. And I actually want to go the y-axis here when I smooth out. I'll just do the old scale and the inflated smooth trim. And then if I go at this, yeah. What happened here? Oh wait, that was always like that. Somehow something went wrong with this one, I think. Was this not a... Okay, it needs to actually be done around probably the torso spider now. And this one is not mirrored properly because it is now actually connected all together, so it needs to be like that. I think there's another one like that too. Wasn't that one, was it? Was this the only one, the only instance of that happening? I think all of these were separate instances. Yeah, everything was a separate instance except for those ones. Alright then. Now, I probably need to hide. Actually, no, I can just... Oh, well, I will just grab all of this. All of it except for the claws, and I'm going to join it to the leg. So just Control J to join, sculpt mode, and then for this, probably 0.5? No, not quite. Maybe this much? Yeah. Okay, now if I use the smooth tool, that is absolutely horrifying. I love it. I'll need to smooth some of these down manually, but it works. Top down a bit. Yeah, that's a bit horrifying, and that's basically what I was aiming for. Now, this one is a little troublesome. Because I'm pretty sure the knee is actually... yeah. Right. But that has a habit of breaking this, so I'm just gonna smooth that out a bit before I do this. Hopefully it doesn't do it on the other side too. And then pinch that together. Just need to smooth that back. Probably need to bulk this up too, just a smidge. Because otherwise it's just going to look like it's indented fairly badly. It almost looks like his leg's broken. Now the claws are probably going to be an issue as I have to put them back on, but I can deal with that. Alright, the leg should be just about good. Just need to make sure I don't do anything stupid with the mouse first of all. I just need to make sure I get all of the overly bulky sections. And this side. Right. Now it should be a joint here. I'll just do that. And that's about as close to a kneecap as this section's probably going to get anyway. Just slide there, and it should be fine, I think. Yeah, like, I think I've maybe gone a little too hard on the muscles here. That's fine. I can just smooth it back out. Now this one definitely does require a kneecap. I also need to get the hands out of the way. Just do some layering. Just that. Cool. Kneecaps on this is not easy. Because it's like an entire debacle trying to get them in, especially if they're not going to look quite right with the spider theming, but like, it still needs kneecaps. Like, what am I going to do? Not give it kneecaps? That's so silly. And it's not like it's a ball joint, so I can't even get away with that excuse. And this side as well, just do that. It does look very off, mind you. Probably need to grab that back down. Just really need to manipulate this bit here. And manipulate it up on this side as well. It really shouldn't be this large, though it'll give me a good idea of what I'm doing. And smooth that back down. And back. Smooth that out. Right, that should be good. Now, this one here, I could probably get away with saying that, oh yeah, that's a hinge joint. Like a, two-socketed joint, like the ankle is. I'd probably get away with doing that. So if we clay strip here, and on the other side do the exact same. And then do that. Yeah, that should be good. Because while this isn't supposed to be entirely accurate, I think it would look more like an abomination if it was accurate, you know? Now that doesn't need to be like that now. Muscles would rather come into the joints themselves. So I'd need to clay strip onto it. And out. And the other side, just a couple of plate strips. Smooth it out. There we go. Alright, so this should be fine. Now, I should probably inflate this section though. Just go along the y-axis with this. And then just do that for the feet. Okay, maybe a little too bulbous actually. Just out. Set that up. Do I need to pull it in or do I just need to crease this? Probably just crease it. Research and yeah, it should be good. Just move this section down a smidge. And now it's time to do the copious amounts of creasing for these. Just there. Crease there just a smidge, not too much though. Now for the underside here, I do need to put some creases in this line here. That muscle. That leg. Smooth out a smidge. And then for this one here, it also needs creasing. It needs creasing along here. Alright, and that should be good for the legs. Now, time to get a better idea of where these legs are going to be. Why? Speaking of why is the legs on this not correct? Okay, I see. It's because I inadvertently put the mirror modifier on and didn't think to consider like the muscles here not transferring over to the other side. That's fine, I can just fix that. And then which one was the original one? Whoops. Okay, the top one was the original one. So now if we click on this, just give it a mirror around here. Oh. Now. So I need to duplicate that, rotate the Z. Y. Again. Let's see. There we go. Now we've got something spider-like going on. It will also give me a better idea of where the muscles on the abdomen need to go. Let's just grab all of these and grab the Z-axis so they partially clip into the abdomen. Alright, cool. We now have something resembling a Dryder. Just need to start doing muscles around here. So I'm just going to grab all of these. I'm going to move within the Dryder. And just grab legs. Gonna put it in here. And then I grab all of this stuff here. And then move that to in here. And then this, just grab these. That is not what I want. I'll move this to a new collection called Torso Human. Always a good idea to organize your stuff so you have a vague idea of what you're doing. And then move this to... And now whenever I need to get rid of stuff, I can just, you know, toss it in the... Just get rid of these. Oh, almost got to move the spinners to that collection too. Body spider. There we go. Now, it's time to continue on with making these. Just duplicate that, drag it down. Just make sure that this has more than enough muscles to support the torso, the legs, and the abdomen on the back. Oh, I was about to say, and Blender crashed. I was holding the pen around the wrong way. I was trying to use the other end for drawing. That's not how this works, Caitlin. Please use your brain for once. Okay, and mesh this. And grab this. Push it real close on. There we go. And then I just need to probably from here and then split it into two different sections possibly, or even just have two muscles, one that comes from here and then one that comes from that, like that section that connects the torso, the thorax, and the abdomen together. I can just sneak a small muscle underneath there for that leg. I very well might do that. So, this, go down. I've also been thinking, chat. Now, this is just in the back of my mind type of deal. I was thinking about recreating my Roblox character as well in Blender. Because I've been trying to get decent models on, like, Roblox models to animate. Because I have an idea for all of that. Unfortunately, whenever you try to do something with just the base Roblox models, half of the faces are inside out. You can't connect them together in order to, like, have a good position for animation. And they're really just obnoxious to work with. Especially if you're like trying to make UGC, right? And you want to see if it fits on your character correctly. But for whatever reason, the scale of the Roblox characters in Blender is completely different to the scale of the Roblox characters in the Roblox studio. Like, for whatever reason, I'm just gonna import this like quickly, right? Just to prove the point. Let's just open up another instance of Blender. Just open another one of these. I'm just going to quickly grab this so I can show the rest of you how silly this is. So, where is my import? I believe it's open anyway. So this is one I just happen to have on hand. And if you look at the total height of the character, which is in the Y by the way, for whatever reason this character is rotated. If I click Alt R, it's actually like upright. It's 5.5 meters tall. But if you go into Roblox Studio, the characters are like 1.8 meters or something like that. Like, I don't know why it's built like that. Like, that is legitimately taller than this abomination. Like, this thing is how many? 1, 2, 3, 3.5 meters tall, roughly. So the fact that that particular character is 5.5 meters tall is just a bit silly to me. Anyway, back to what I was doing before I got sidetracked. And of course the silly clown music comes on whenever I just realized I need to get back to work. That's pretty amusing. Okay, remesh that. There we go. I'm going to distort this so it goes along with the abdomen a bit better. Because I know this thing's holding out on me when it comes to geometry sometimes. And if I grab this, with probably the snake hook's a better choice. And then I can do muscles on the underside for this. So I can do muscles that connect these together, or even just like a plate, like you would have with the tarantulas. There's like a bit of exoskeleton on the underside, which I could get away with doing if I wanted to. Probably won't just yet though. Alright, quick water break. And scrap this again. If I can't get the muscle done, like all the muscles done by the end of tonight, then I might have to spend an extra day this week just finishing this model in particular off. I haven't even finished the Messino one, to be honest. I want to, but I also want to get this done. So, I'm not sure what my order of priority should be here. Okay, just pull that up. Move it down a bit. And grab this. Go, grab this, pull it out this way. Now if I bring the legs back, I can see where this needs to connect up to. Right, like this a bit. Make sure I get a good smooth surface to start off with first. And then crease this down here. Actually need to crease here. Right. Yeah. Because I think it's important to maintain that split between the thorax and the abdomen in just some way. It doesn't necessarily have to be perfect, but it does have to be noticeable. Alright, now time to get this working. I'm actually gonna make a duplicate of this and set off to the side. Alright, go to probably just up here before going to sculpt mode. And then snake hook, probably pull it towards the center and then have a muscle group that goes down there. Or even just like this, maybe do the first two. Alright, spread that out. Go. Now if we duplicate this, we can do the next 2 legs as well. And then these last ones can go on the back where it connects everything up. Right. Just need to grab myself the elastic form. Just make sure that conforms to the body. And smooth that out. Inflate it. And then we smooth these out so there's a bit of a split in the middle. Not a huge one, but just enough that it's noticeable. Move there, and goodbye, bot. Just because I have nobody watching doesn't mean that I'm giving up my morals and buying viewers. Get out of here with that garbage. Alright, let's grab this. And then we just overlay this on top. And then we have the muscles go into the abdomen here. Alright. Alright, so if I grab this from here, I can actually put it around. It is a little hard to see, but I can deal with it. Then I can use the grab tool to just pull that up there. And then remesh that and bulk it out. Right, and that should be fine. I might just grab this a little bit more. Yeah, like that. That looks very questionable, but I swear it's not. Why is it doing this? What did I just do? I don't want basic boundary. Stop that. I just wanted see-through mode. Oh, it's because I've done goof chat. I accidentally pulled that all the way through when I shouldn't have. So I just need to quickly put that back to the way it should be. That's not Blender's fault, that's just me being an idiot. Alright, now we can pull this across. Apparently, and I've only seen one story about this today, but apparently Niantic has sold the game company. Like, for real? if that's the case, that's a bit wild. Especially considering that Pokemon Go is like a huge moneymaker for them, though. Although, mind you, Niantic is very into, I believe it's the geospatial data that Pokemon Go players have been giving them for the Poffins, I believe it is, most of the time. Right, now I can just grab this and pull it across so it's on the abdomen. Have that split apart a bit. And then I can just smooth this out and then indent it. Alright. And along there as well. I probably need to smooth this side out. And there. Cool. So now I've got muscles going into all of that. I probably just want a small amount of muscle here as well. But I'll sort that out in just a moment when I finish doing the abdomen section. Now the real question is do I put a spine in this? Because I've seen the internal structure of a spider. Oh, why is... Okay, never mind. I was like, why is Firefox pinging me? But it was just my email telling me that I'm live on YouTube. So if I pull this up... I do believe that spiders do actually have a spine in their abdomen. Or they might not actually. No, they don't. So the section that's actually... Let's see. Where's my annotation? There it is. So the section that's up here that would normally be the spine in humans is actually the spider's heart. Which is like absolutely massive. It's how they keep the blood pressure up to have their legs function and their quote unquote muscles work. As I said before, it's a hydraulic system. But in the case of the human, I suppose technically there would be a spine, no? Because this would be considered all of the, like what you consider the internal organs, like heart, stomach, intestines, all that stuff. So that would have to constitute having a spine there. If we're doing like this the way that I was planning. So I will probably go through with that. Let's just... I'm actually going to grab this. I'm going to join these. I'll just save this for now. I'm going to Control J. I'm going to sculpt mode and I'm going to set this to 0.3 meters. Let's just grab that. Crease brush, remesh this, and then crease this back in. And that should keep the mirrors that I've had on some of these things. By these things, I mean more specifically the legs and the muscles. Okay, so that should be good. Yeah. Because I'm going to need to do a spine from here all the way down. And that's going to be weirdly difficult, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the draw sharp, I think, would probably be best here. And then stabilize stroke. If not, to accidentally knock that over again. Okay, that's good. Now if we hold control. That will create a line there. I probably even want that to be a bit thicker. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to the clay strips of this. Thankfully my hand does seem to be steady enough to get away with doing this. Alright, so now, yeah. I've got this going. Now if I smooth this out, this should provide me with enough of a basis of a spine of which I can attach muscles to. Now, if I... Yep. So now we have a quote-unquote spine for this. It's time to create some muscles to go down it. I'll start with... I want to start with the back. Most likely, yeah. So sculpt this into what I need. Alright, grab that. Mesh it. Should be just about good here. Here. Because I want to have it up on the spine, but I don't want it to be overlapping it. It's not going to be helpful to me if I do that. And then what I can do is I can have muscles going from the spine and curve around the body. Probably need to smooth this in a bit, though. Right. And then this, I can grab the snake hook and just have it connect up the side here. Out, around, go. Now I just need to remember not to make this too bulky, because otherwise I'm going to have a fair bit of time spent just smoothing everything out like I did on the legs just before. Right, now, it's time to make the muscles to go down the sides. Let's just make this into wide. Have one spear. Just to make it easier on me. Got that, goes up there. This comes down around the side of the abdomen. I will expand this out a bit. And smooth that down. Make sure I pull the sides back out. There we go. And then I think probably till around about here, maybe? I'll just quickly put away the legs since they're not important in this case. So if I do it halfway around, I can then have muscles come up and meet them from the underside. And then that would probably make it look more organic, possibly. Because at this point, I am basically just flying blind on this. Like, using echo shoes for, like, centaurs and, like, other quadrupedal animals is fine and all, but it's not going to help in this case. I might even split it in two, so I'll have this one go this way, and then have the second one go this way, and then have muscles come up from the underside. Because it's not the way that all of these ones are done, but it's fairly close. So if I grab this, because this sort of tucks in on the underside here. So if I do that, and then have that go down towards the spinner, and have the muscles on the spine like this. Good lord, somebody is going in and out of that water closet. And it's a bit detrimental to me. So, the whole thing with the water closet is people just keep opening and closing the thing, even though they know I'm streaming and that my microphone could possibly pick up on what it is they're doing. They still just absolutely wrench that thing open at any given opportunity. It's just like, why are you like this? It's probably my uncle, to be honest. Oh, good lord. Like, they just closed it and then they reopened it. Like, are you for real right now? Bruh. Right, so... I want to keep this relatively pointed on the way down. Let's grab this. I want to smooth this out. And then when it gets down to there, it can actually stop. Right, and then remesh that, and that should be good. Let's put that up and fit it more towards the top muscle there. Like, I know this is supposed to be the spine and all, but like, I don't want to split it too hard. So, I'll keep on this. I'd like to at least have some muscles attached to the spine. And then this one, let's grab all of this and pull it off to the side. Up and back up. Alright. Just let this down so okay, please. Okay. And then smooth that down. Alright, now there's a whole bunch of muscles that go into this, and to be honest, I'm not entirely certain that I want to go through with detailing each individual one. But because I do not like myself, I will be doing just that. And back in the X. Let's see. So, I probably want to do... like this. And then I can just use these to make the muscles up. Alright, grab that, pull it round. Alright, it kind of looks really cool actually. Unfortunately, it's not going to be that interesting once I smooth these down, but hey, it looks neat. And then I actually want to distort that for it to go towards the front more. And want to try and remember to remesh these. Alright, and then this one. I could see this particular song becoming a YouTuber's intro song. Like, does this not sound like a YouTuber intro song? And then this one. Hello? Just didn't want to do its job for a second there. Okay, so... I need to smooth this out. And I need to pull all this out. So I've actually got muscles in here. I wonder, next time I do, like, a modeling week, maybe I should do a scene instead of a character. I think that would be fun. I can, maybe try and recreate, like, a favorite childhood level or something like that. Although, mind you, a lot of the stuff that I played back then was, like, Spyro and whatnot. But hey, there could be some interesting things there. Interesting things that I could take inspiration from, or just take. Is there... Okay, there's nothing inside, it's just built like that. Alright. That. And I think this should actually be enough detail on the muscles for the abdomen, because I can then just draw in whatever remaining muscles I need to, coming from this direction. Might space these out just a smidge. Here's something for me to complain about. So, why is it that it requires Jack Black himself coming into movie theaters to prevent people from throwing popcorn at the screens. Like, I originally thought it was a joke, but apparently that's just a thing that's happening now. Like, come on. Honestly, people should know better than to throw popcorn in the theaters. And now that Jack Black has, like, gone ahead and personally told people not to do that, people are going to do it for future screens because they'll think that they can meet their favorite celebrities that way. That's not the way you'd want to meet your favorite celebrity, is by being an absolute dipshit. Like, huh? I'm just gonna choose a bit more. I want to try and leave the space because I do want to put muscles down here too. Not right this second, but soon. But for real, like, the fact that he's gone ahead and done this is a bit concerning because, like, now that the kids have been like, oh, if we behave like absolute shitheads, we get rewarded by meeting our favorite celebrity. That's a pretty dangerous path to go down, no? Like, I get that Jack Black was doing it so that the poor movie theater employees don't have to clean up after actual animals, but the fact that they're getting rewarded like this just disappoints me a little bit. Okay, so that's a little... Also, I've been thinking about, and I don't think that they would let me, but I have considered it, is maybe seeing if I can get in contact with Weta Effects, which is the New Zealand company that did the special effects for the Minecraft movie, and just like taking a little tour. I don't think they would let me, but it'd be rather interesting if I could. I think it'd be a rather interesting learning experience. I don't think I'd learn anything specifically more about 3D modeling, but like film production would probably be a huge one that I could learn from that. Alright, grab that, and then that's just going to tuck into the underside here. Make sure I get this out before I remesh it. Like, I see that, there's plans for a live-action Zelda movie. And I must admit, Charlotte's probably absolutely livid with that. Charlotte being one of my friends, she absolutely adores Zelda, and I can only imagine she's not too happy about seeing a live-action remake of Zelda, especially not with how previous video game adaptations tend to have gone. I don't think she's too fond of the idea, especially after seeing how the Minecraft movie ended up. Let's just put this one across. And this one, pull that across. Like, man, she must be absolutely livid with the fact that this is happening now. But hey, I guess, death and live-action remakes come for us all. That. Mesh it. The other direction. Yeah. Also, I've recently, and I know this is going to sound strange coming from a person who's actively learning how to make art, I've also been trying to learn how to run AI on the side. And my god, is it really annoying to get a good um, prompt to generate things with? Because I was testing out with like, oh yeah, what if I try and programmed Herobrine into an AI? But it's a lot more difficult than I initially anticipated for it to be. Let's just put it that way. The AI seems to be actively trying to prevent itself from being, what I say being, doing anything useful with the information that I give it. Like, I give it information on how to act and all that, and I even specifically say don't try and speak on behalf of the user. And for whatever reason, it just has a habit of still speaking on behalf of the user. I don't know how to fix that, but eventually I'll figure it out. Okay, just come back here. And then after that I can just merge all of this down, I think. I also probably need to get these muscles to form onto the legs here, because they're not really connecting to them all too well. But I'm sure I can handle it. Alright, pull that back across. And then pull that forward. I just need to keep the leg space in my... Oh, there's plenty of space. In fact, I probably need an extra muscle in there. Right. That's down, back. Just make sure it gets to exactly where I need that to be. Right, now that... Yeah, the muscles should be fine. So really the only thing I have to do now is pretty much the face. Like, I can merge all these down and be fine. So I'll just... these. Now, just need to fit this in here. Oh, back my hand's really itchy for some reason. Not even the hand that I'm wearing the artist glove on, just the other hand that's doing the keyboard shortcuts just decide, hey, I want to be edgy right now. All I'm saying is, at least it wasn't the one that has the glove on it. Right. That, pull it up. Mesh it. This. Make sure I leave a slight amount of a gap around the rest of the muscles. Oh, what a strange shape, but I think it is. Have that muscle go here. I think that works fairly well. Like, it's pretty unique physiology, all things considered, but I think if you were looking at it from a reasonable distance away, you wouldn't think anything of it. Like, if you were looking at this from a distance, you wouldn't necessarily think, oh, that musculature is wrong, because spiders don't have muscles. But you'd be more likely to think that it was real. At least I hope so. So split that apart. And then bring back the legs for a minute. Yeah, I need muscles to go from here down around the legs. Okay. But yeah, if an entomologist were to come to my stream and see this, they'd probably have a stroke. So, get this along. Perfect shape. Or at least as close to perfect as I can get. So then this forms into the abs, which then go down into, which then go around the legs. And then grab that, pull that around the legs. I think that works. Cool. Now if I save this, I can go in and start merging all this stuff down. So hide these. I need to apply those two. Because I probably need to join these together, to be honest. Stop mode. Remesh that, not retop. I need to remember not to accidentally call remesh retop. It's like an awful habit I've gotten into, and it's not even remotely the same thing. Right now, I grab all of these. That's everything. Now I want to right click, convert to mesh, and then Control J, and then sculpt. I want to have these to be around about 100. Okay, my computer wasn't a fan of that one, that's fine. So what I need to do now is just inflate it a very small amount. And then smooth it. Okay, it's a good start. I just need to do some manual smoothing on this. It's mostly around the more defined muscles that I need to do this. Okay, it is actually mirroring on the X. I was concerned for a second there wasn't. I was like, oh no. Alright. It's the most horrifying looking thing I've seen in a while, but you know what? It works. Now I just need to smooth this out. And smooth out this. That. There's some pinching in there that I'd rather not have. I just need to go ahead and sketch, like re-sketch out the split between the thorax and the abdomen. Again for a minute. make sure I smooth that a little bit more. Because I don't want it to be too detailed for risk of scaring off everyone who's watching me currently. Or, you know, being sent to therapy, whichever one happens sooner. Alright, and then bring back the legs. Yeah, that is horrifying. That's perfect. Like, it's just a really bulky spider. But to be honest, it makes more sense to have the muscles there as opposed to the exoskeleton, because then I have to explain, oh, how does the blood pressure thing work? And then just convert these to mesh. And then we join these to the abdomen. Okay, join that. And then back to sculpt mode. Remesh that. Give Blender a second to figure out what the hell it's doing. Is the remesh really that thick? No, it's not. I might even set it to 0.15 perhaps. Hopefully that should, yeah, ease up the strain a little bit on this. Actually, what is my current count? Here it is. Really? I was about to say only 200,000, and then I went out of that, and it's actually 1.3 million. Oh, my computer does not like this. Not that I blame it, of course. Like, all of these are like a few thousand apiece, so I can't say that I blame this thing for having a hissy fit over this. It's probably the hands, actually. Yeah, it's the hands. It's the hands that are super salty. Alright, let's go into sculpt mode for this, and let's bring this back up a bit. Probably 0.05 is sufficient for this. Yeah, it still has most of the detail. There we go, now my computer is breathing slightly easier. It even still has like most of the creases for the joints and whatnot, so I can't complain too hard. Alright, let's go back to this. Alright, let's just make sure that there's some good clean creases between these legs and the thorax. Make sure to crease these. Go. I should probably get some water cooling for this poor computer. Because, good lord, do I run this thing just absolutely dry sometimes. Alright. And then, yeah, the crease for the abdomen's still there, but I will just crease that across like that. Okay, perfect. So now we get in between these, smooth them out and recrease them again. Okay, and then crease them. That gets done. Actually, these probably need to have muscles between them now that I think about it. Let's just get out the good old play strips. I don't want to crease them too much, because the underside's already got creasing. is the song? It's Happy Lake. Okay, fair enough. I don't know why, but the song vaguely reminds me of Paris. No? Like, does it not have that accordion that you really expect to hear in Paris? I know it's like a huge stereotype of that, but like, come on. Does that not sound like exactly what Paris sounds like? Just as like a goofy, fun manner. Alright, get that, increase it down. Alright, got that going now. I might add just a small, just around here. Make that go down into there. And then this, just make that go down to there, just smooth that out slightly. There we go, now we've got some interesting muscle shapes going on. Just get one down there. Have that go into there. There we go. Now we've got a body going on. Hell yeah. You know, for somebody who usually isn't too impressed by their own work, I'm actually quite happy with how this is turning out. I still need to do the claws, unfortunately. But I can work with that. Let's just get this going here with the torso. I can do the head last. But if I grab this slot. Okay, let's go into the arms and hide all of the stuff that I don't immediately need. So that is... There's one of these that's an elbow. Which one is it? It's Ico 8. So if I get rid of all the rest of this, yep, I can grab these, all of them, and go from here. So I need to right click, convert to mesh. Actually, no, I don't even need to convert to mesh at this point. I just need to join, because they all have the same modifier anyway. Sculpt mode, set that to, yeah, 0.3. I don't need to do anything additional here. So now we grab all of these. And then join onto the shoulder. Let's just go Control these for now. And then Control J. Go into sculpt mode. And I think I'd probably go to 1.5 here. Yeah. And then just move this out. And smoothing all of that down. And all of a sudden, we have functioning arms. I just want to quickly place strips the elbow, though. Don't want to lose that in the smoothing process. And this, and define the elbow on both sides, because the muscles actually go over the elbow this way. And then probably place strips this just over there, down here. There we go. I'll probably even say that's slightly too big. That should be fine. Probably even move this, just extend it up towards here. Now I can use the crease brush on this. Looks a little bit fuckly. Smooth it out of it. And then probably even just use the inflate tool to increase the size of this thing. Alright, that's better. Now I can just put in some muscle detail here. Yeah, just defining this particular muscle down here. And then right in the muscle of the shoulder. Just really define some of these. Like, it's not going to be 0% body fat by any means, but just having the extra definition there will help me in the long run. Alright, cool. Alright, now time to do the chest. Alright, so that's all good. What's the cylinder? Cylinder? Oh, right, the claws. Duh. I'll chuck that in there for now. And then I can grab all the torso stuff. So all that, all of this. And I don't need the arms for now. I'll merge those in a minute. So if I convert to mesh and then I'm just going to save. Merge that down, sculpt mode, and just go to 150. There we go, now we have all the muscles joined here. Smooth this out. Actually, I don't know why I'm doing it this way, where I can just do it the fun way. With the good old inflate and smooth. Ah, I didn't do the neck muscles. Whoopsies. Convert to mesh and then set that to 150 again. Control R. Like that slightly. Probably even a bit too much. Just need to do maybe 0.3 and then smooth it. Alright, now it's time to do some manual smoothing. I'll keep out the clay strips for now. So we've got the pectoral muscles and then abdominals. I probably need to increase these actually. Now that they've lost some definition due to the remesh. And I should actually probably also add a belly button while I'm in here. So it's generally located around here when it comes to the abdominals. I'll just use the draw sharp for this one, I think. Oh, right, I had this unstabilized. Okay, so that should be good. And now I can just cut in the rest of the detail here. We've got the abdominals, and then the abdominals will actually merge into this section here. Once I combine those two areas. And then do this. Just really split those two. I don't really want to accidentally smooth that out again. So I'll just do that. On the front and just cut the abdominals in just a tiny bit more. Okay, cool. So now I just need to smooth this in just a bit. Not too much, mind you. And then I want to just clay strips this a small amount. Just make it look like there's a muscle there. Even though I didn't do that one specifically. There we go. We have a chest. Okay, this looks so much better than my previous attempt at this project. Good lord. Making past me feel a little bit inadequate. There we go. Now, I just need to do the rest of the side muscles, because there's a lot of muscles that come off the side here. But I've still been procrastinating them because it's a lot quicker and easier just to make them like directly onto the torso. In fact, I'll even probably make that a bit smaller. There's like muscles that come off of here and go wrap around the side. And they always come off the abdominals, and then this one just has a nice big muscle that comes up here and all the way around. So that comes all the way down here. Have that, and then there's another set of muscles that actually tucks into the undersides of these. I also need to create one that goes up here. Because then there's a muscle that comes... Just stack these a bit more. I'll just grab this. Hopefully it won't show anything untoward. So, when you look at this, there's this set of muscles here, and then there's a set of muscles coming from the back muscle here, and then hooks into the pectoral and to the abs here. So I'm trying to recreate that without going too overboard on it. So then we hook that into there, this one into here, and then that bottom one should be fine. Probably even just scale that up a bit more like this. Okay, let's just make this. Now let's just remesh this for a second. I'm gonna probably inflate this here. Because the baseline's already there, it's just having the muscles be a bit more blatantly obvious. and then I can clay strips these ones. And then have these remeshed, and then once I smooth them out, and that looks like a proper torso. I just need to smooth this out the front just a little bit, because it's not as obvious here. And then if I smooth this out around here, it will look less like a DeviantArt teenager made it. Only by a small amount though. Cool. I just want to add one small one in here, because that is actually on a person's body. And then just indent this slightly. Oh. Just with the inflate tool, or in this case, deflate. Inflate this section here. And smooth it out. And voila, we have a torso. So now, if I grab this, and then join them together, and then remesh that. It's going to take a second while it does whatever it does. If I look at this, yeah, that should be fine. That's not too bad. So yeah, that, as it should, makes up the majority of the mesh. Now if I do this, and then get the muscle to go along here. And then probably cut in around about here just to give it a little bit more definition. Smooth that out a smidge before cutting that in again. And then there we go. Now we're getting somewhere, chat. And then musculature around here. Thankfully, I don't have to do any specific details on this model, much to Foxy's chagrin. Go, and then grab this one. And I actually need to convert to mesh first before joining it. Now I can just quickly clay strips across here. Not quite that big, because that is something that is connected to the arm. And then that connects like that. This actually connects across the back of the shoulder. And then this, like this muscle will absolutely go down here. And then smooth that out. And all of a sudden we have a human body on a spider body. This is probably going to be one of the more detailed things I've made, and quite frankly, I'm impressed that I even made it look this decent. Alright, cool. We've just about hit 3 hours. It is 5 PM, and I've managed to get a considerable amount done today. I think probably tomorrow I'll do the face and then start the retopology process, most likely. But good lord, have I managed to make pretty decent headway through this project. Let's just save that. Always make sure you save regularly. Make sure you save frequently, and just make sure that you don't screw something up horrendously, basically. Speaking of, Hey, can you stop that, please? Thank you. Just return back to normal because I accidentally put my drawing tablet on top of my space mouse, which I have still yet to actually do anything about, mind you. And I shall do this. Alright, so 3 hours. That was quite a considerable amount of work considering I had to do all the muscles for the legs and the torso and then put everything together. Not to mention me getting sidetracked a couple of times, but that's beside the point. I shall see y'all tomorrow where I'll probably most likely be doing the face and retopology.